What's up everyone, Blade here, and welcome back to another video of Persona 5 The Phantom X. Besides today's video, guys, we're going to be going over my pool plan for the global side of things and what I'm going to be investing onto here, in which I'm going to explain some of the characters, show you exactly how they look, of course, and their various weapons. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're going to get straight into it. Now, you guys know, it's coming up. We have, of course, 4.0 coming up with all these crazy good characters, starting off with Makoto Yuki, and I'm immediately just going to say it right now. This man is definitely a must pull for me. I'm going to try and get his weapon, in which a lot of people have asked me to do a weapon. Do they need their weapon type tier list thing? It's going to be very hard for them in that, so I'm also going to try to answer that question in this video as well, when I showcase their weapons, or at least talk about their weapons themselves. But Makoto Yuki is one of the few characters that no matter what, I'm going to go ahead and invest in. He's a really good DPS itself, and with the current amount of characters that we do got, there's not many single target fire characters. If we can go ahead and see right here, we have, of course, an AoE, and then a bunch of other characters here, and he is our only single target fire. With that being even more stated here and how long it's already been, not only is this character very much so a top tier unit, but he is the only single target fire unit that we do have. So yes, I will be pulling for this character on global. I think he's very much so worth the investment. If you want to go ahead and go for the 5-star weapon or the 4-star weapon here, I would say the 5-star weapon is in your very best interest. The 4-star weapon does work because he does get the buffs off his skill 1 and 3, which gives him a lovely buff that he can actually proc it. But the 5-star weapon is insanely worth it because the amount of critical rate that you also get off of this, and of course it does help you out on your 30 increased damage plus your persona skill damage here. So instead of actually having a little bit of that extra damage, you're actually getting 2 times it, plus it does affect your special move phase, which is the whole thing with its level 3 skill. Top that with the regular just attack 30% here, and I mean, you got just a disastrous character, which is freaking fantastic. Now for the next unit that we're going to be going ahead and going over, this one is going to be Yukari. Now Yukari is in a very interesting spot for me, and I said this just like in the tier list as well, where I feel like she's insanely good. It's just she is a character that I didn't really use all too much, even down to at least the weapon here. You do not need the 5-star weapon. If you want to pull for it, you very well can here. The 4-star weapon is actually the better investment instead of the 5-star weapon itself, because the 5-star weapon is kind of lackluster. Just to tell you guys exactly what that ends up doing here, the 5-star weapon, which is this one right here, allows you to, whenever you restore allies, you can hit with a wind erosion. This is you can go ahead and get increased healing by the 15.7%, right? But alongside of this, by using her arrow rejuvenation, which you'll be going ahead and using these stacks pretty easily with her rotation, you will increase your party damage by 10. It can stack twice, pretty decent, nothing too crazy, right? Well, with the 4-star, if we go ahead and look at this, all you get is the HP recovery from arrow rejuvenation. So if we're looking for a healer, that's all we really care about. The extra 10% is nice, but I don't think it's so much of a gigantic value shift that makes it worth for summoning for the 5-star weapon. So I do say stick with the 4-star weapon. For me on global, I'm going to be skipping Yukari personally. I just don't see it worth investing into the character from my end. Of course, if you guys want to change that and do that, of course, go ahead, do what you want. Summon who you like, is perfectly fine. I summoned on my main account. You might as well summon on your main account if that's how you enjoy the game. But I'm skipping on my global. Now for the next character that we're going to be going over, this is Akihiko. Now yes, this was back to back for C's units that ended up happening here, and unfortunately Akihiko got hit with the underpowered stick, and this was right before, of course, like characters such as Barry, Summer Puppet, and them started coming out. And he is a really good character. I ended up investing into getting his 5-star weapon, as well as investing into making him pretty decent. The only downside with this character is later down the line, we got characters such as Summer Puppet who absolutely blow him out of the freaking water. And I mean, the damage difference is insane. Now, granted, on global, he might get buffed, so it will probably make him even better of a character, but I don't see it just worth it at that time period, because neither him or Summer Puppet are characters I'm going for. I want to save for the long run for Luce, who most likely will be alongside of Soy, making my investment even more so worth it for the AoE side of things. So I'm going to be skipping this guy. If you are going to pull for him, I highly do advise going for his weapons. His weapons are actually insanely broken, and they're actually one of the few things that I feel like was the start of us starting to get like crit damage / crit damage crit rate weapons themselves, because he has a main stat of crit damage, which is the character what he's built off of, which is this right here. But then at the same time, he's able to use his obsession stacks, which is these stacks that you need to down the enemy and do a lot more damage themselves. This will give you 8.2% for 2 whole turns and 2 stacks. That can go up to 16%, meaning you're getting 16% extra crit rate, which is fantastic to actually have. And then whenever you're dealing said crit damage here, you will increase your damage by 34%, which is insane as well. While his 4-star weapon only gives you pretty much an attack buff, and they're just there, right? There is just pure attack buff. You don't get anything related to his kit, and this character really needs crit damage. So I advise you going for his weapon. I'm gonna skip this character on global, but it's for a good reason. Now, going into the next character that is coming out in order most likely is going to be Barry. Now, Barry here, as much as I would love to invest into this character on global, seeing that she is our only single target DPS besides of course Sophia, I'm probably gonna end up skipping her. One, because this character herself takes, I think, around like A2 to really like get you going for real. Like, yeah, you can use her at A0, you can use her at A1, cool. But if you go ahead and get her to like the A2 section, she gets another stack of Obsession Love, which is one of her stacks, and this makes it even easier to get to your more busted OP side of things for movesets themselves here. And I have already been spoiled to A6 itself, so I'm already spoiled a lot with this character. And if I wanted to really make good use of her, I would have to go ahead and get that second hit, or at least that second stack for me. I think that second dupe is honestly insanely good. Plus, of course, with that second dupe, you're also getting an extra 36% of crit damage for just having your 4 stacks themselves. So it makes it very much so worth it, especially if you really want to go for the character. You can go for A0, A1, sure, but A2 is pretty much like that lovely sweet spot to stay into. Granted, she's going to get most likely buffed on global just because she does have her downsides. They might change up the stacking materials, stuff like that, but she is insanely good. Now, personally, with the weapon, I definitely say with a DPS like her, you want to go for her weapon. Main reason is because not only are you increasing your attack percent, but this user is really much so needing a ton of highlights, right? She thrives off of highlights. Well, this thing is going to help you out because you're helping out your critical damage, which is already great, or like your crit rate, and then she helps out with her crit damage. Well, she's obviously going to be dealing a lot of damage with that, right? And since she's going to have the highlight buffer being cord, she's going to have the attack buffs that cord does provide. Getting more of this crit rate, crit damage is obviously going to help you out. Unfortunately, her highlight doesn't crit, but it still will deal a ton of damage that you're going to want to have as much as possible of it. So having characters like cord in at least influencing her, as well as having the weapon that's really influencing your crit rate, crit damage substats, are going to make this insanely worth it. Pair that with the disaster called Anj here, who keeps giving you extra turns, and your skill 3 is going to start dealing some insane motives. So let's keep that in mind. I think this is a very much so worth it weapon, but it honestly comes down to like, hey, if I'm summoning for the next banner, do I truly need the weapon? I don't think you do. You still get in damage increase with the 4-star weapon, which does also help you out. It's more of a damage increase after the highlight, but you're going to use the highlight to get stacks anyway. So I mean, like, it still kind of goes hand in hand, but you're missing out on the crit rate and crit damage. So crit rate and crit damage kind of defines everything for a DPS. So I would say go for the weapon. But all right, after we talked about her here, let's get to our next character, which is going to be Summer Marian. Now, Summer Marian for me, I know a lot of people. Hey, listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love this skin. Freaking fantastic. Love it. If I didn't, obviously I have to question some things about myself personally, but I do love this skin. All right, people can judge that how they want to freaking go ahead and judge that. I think this character is a must summon. She's fantastic. She does absolutely amazing. She is the #1 buffer in the entire game. You can use other characters like twins, of course. You can use other characters in general, and I genuinely would say it like this. This character can use items no other character can use that directly impact not only your team, but directly impact your DPS. And it's not by a small margin. No, it's by a heavy margin that she is helping out your team. Sure, You could use other crit damage DPS or crit damage buffers such as the twins, helping out with overall stats, such as Wind Bats, helping you out heavily in crit damage. But the thing that this character helps with is the special buffs here, the crit damage, obviously, the lovely amount of just what's it called, item usage themselves. She can heal you in turns that she's not utilizing her turn itself from the item little package that she does have. She's able to heal just based on the blessing stacks that she gives off. She's able to take down defense. So it's like this character is one whole character package meshed into one, which is insanely worth it. Now, if you get the second dupe, which I'm probably going to invest into as well to get in the second dupe, it doesn't matter. She can stay at A0. You don't need dupes for this character, but I'm probably going to invest on my global account for maybe dupe 2 as well, because alongside of that, that's where the defense decrease comes in. Go for that second dupe, you got 25% extra defense decrease, you have the increase in critical damage taken by 30%, and that acts as more of a debuffer side of things that you would not normally have. So I definitely want to go for that. I really do think that's going to be insanely worth it here, and really much so worth in general for just the amount of damage that she can deal now, or at least the amount of buffs that she can deal. Sorry, not damage. Now, for the 5-star weapon, this one is very controversial. You could either go for the 4-star weapon, which is perfectly fine, but the 5-star weapon, the reason why I like this one so much is because it increases the item effect itself by 20%. So if you have an item that's helping you out with 40% extra attack damage, well, boom, bump that item up a little bit more. If you need heals, you can use a medium healing potion itself. Guess what? It bumps that item effect even more, meaning your healing's going to increase, and so on and so forth. Alongside of this, just by using an item on at least an ally, you get critical damage up by 15.3%, another place where you can get more crit damage, by the way. And then you also, whenever you're using an persona skill itself, you increase your attack percent. These are both for 3 and 2 turns, and it's fantastic. They are absolutely helping you get the most buffs for your buck. Granted, if you wanted to, using the 4-star, definitely probable. It's perfectly fine, because just by going ahead and using a skill on an ally, you still give them that 33% of crit damage. The only downside is you no longer have that item effect, you no longer have that attack percentage. But once again, attack percentage is not mandatory. Making that up is pretty easy. It's only 10% anyway, so making that up is pretty easy. The only major loss is the item effect by 20%. So do keep that in mind. She replaces it with max HP, and this goes up to 24% once it's maxed out here. So I mean, like, it is a little bit of, at least you get some chunkiness back instead. So you can decide if you really want to go for the 5-star weapon or the 4-star weapon. I think you can deal without the 5-star weapon, but I definitely would say I'm going for the 5-star weapon. So really good character. I think it's worth investing in. All right, so now getting to my next character, and I'm just not even going to take much time on this one here. As I said earlier, I'm going for a different AoE DPS. Summer Puppet's a huge skip for me. I did like, she's a good character. It's just I don't think that she's worth it for my time with the characters that I'm investing in, so I'm skipping this character definitely. As for the weapon here, if you do go for it, this is another one of these times where weapons start to get really hardcore to kind of deal with here. I would say when it comes down to this weapon, I really want to say you want it, and the reason why I'm saying you want it is because this is another critical crit rate damage weapon itself. But alongside of this here, whenever you're spending SP, which you're always going to be spending your SP, you're getting increased damage. Now this increased damage goes up to 5 whole stacks. The other weapon itself, being the 4-star weapon, does not do this at all. It only helps out with attack. That's it, pure attack. Now if you don't care about critical damage, crit rate, you don't care about the increased damage from using your SP, which you're going to use all of your SP, then of course, sure, you can use the 4-star weapon. It still gives you some form of attack, and it's like 40, I think it's like 43% when you're in your Ocean's domain or your domain expansion, and then 24% extra attack out of it, or just as well throughout the whole match. So I mean, like, you still get attack out of it. It's just making up that crit damage is not an easy feat, because that is an easy 36% crit damage and an easy 16% crit rate that you got to pull out of your behind somewhere that the weapon just hands to you for free. So I mean, like, you can work with the 4-star weapon. I don't think it's mandatory to go for the 5-star weapon unless you're being heavily competitive. Then of course go for the 5-star weapon, but I do think that she works perfectly fine with the 4-star weapon. We'll do damage comparisons when the time does come, and I'll try to show you guys exactly how much they both do with all these characters as well when the time comes. All right, so now with that out of the way, we're over to my girl Blitz. Now Blitz is another one that I do feel like is a spotty one. I'm gonna end up skipping her on my global. She's freaking fine as crap, by the way. I love this goddamn freaking character. She's freaking awesome. For the people who've been here for a long time, they know the things I've said about this dang teacher. But obviously, love this freaking character. Fantastic unit. I really wished I was able to A6 her when she first came out, but at this point, I'm not gonna be doing it. She does come back in multiple other teams with Fuuka, but I usually see her if she's duped. If she isn't duped, that's why I don't see her as much, and that's why I'm not really going to invest into her, because she seems like more of a high investment character rather than a low investment character, and that's just based on my own experience. The character's freaking fantastic. She does still have her uses in SOS every now and again, and her weapon is honestly really good after they ended up reworking it. We go for her. Feel like she can be perfectly fine with the 4-star weapon, because we were working with the 4-star weapons for a while until the 5-star weapons got boosted. So I'm not going to revert that and say, oh, the 5-star weapon is in need. I do think the 4-star weapon does more than enough for you guys, and you can probably stick with that for a very long time. But in the future, just get the 5-star weapon if you do have the extra materials to do so. But I'm gonna skip the character. She's great for down. She's amazing in general. She comes back for different things. If you're an Akihiko enjoyer, that's where you truly do bring her into the team. That's where she starts to shine the most. But she's kind of just there, right? You don't have her in the team 24/7. There are some teams that I think she is prominent in, but she's never like the high key best in slot character. So yeah, kind of interesting there. And if I remember correctly as well, for her to be really, really useful, because you need to get multiple swaps in and out, you do need a high level Fuuka. So that kind of also takes her investment down for me as well. And by high level, I mean high awarenesses. So keep that in mind. But with that out of the way here, I do think 5-star weapon later down the line is needed, but you can stick with the 4-star, and then she's perfectly fine with pulling, but I'm just going to be skipping. All right, going into our next character, which is going to be BUI Prism here. BUI Prism is another unit that I find is insanely worth it. If you're a person who's actually going ahead and duping the Christ out this character, you're going to love her. I love her at A0. She's great. She does more than enough damage, and I do think that her weapons are a must-have in my opinion. And this is mainly because they offer primarily crit rate. If it's like a primary crit rate, that means if you can get this character A1, or if you can get this weapon, anything that is crit damage oriented is your main priority, because your crit rate is pretty much covered. You only need about like 20 to 30% crit rate for most characters, and I think 40 is like pushing it at times. You can really just deal with the crit rate that you got and just boom, gun it for crit damage, which she does some amazing damage. Alongside of this here, on the amount of vegetable knights that she's able to summon, she does tons of damage off of that and has a ton of crit damage off of that as well. So I mean, like, hey, really is a valuable weapon itself that is insanely worth going for. Now I'm going to be skipping the character. She's fantastic, I love her all dang day, but she's not the single targeter that I'm going to be going for. So I mean, like, kind of happens, but let's go ahead and go to the next one. I don't know why I started singing there, but going to my next unit here, we're gonna go check out, oh, see, that one was Mitsuru. Now Mitsuru here for me is a must summon, and that's primarily because I'm investing into Makoto Yuki. If you're a person who's investing into Makoto Yuki or other single target DPSs, Mitsuru is pretty much worth damage, or at least worth the investment. She's a catchy done correctly, right? She doesn't take recorded damage, but pretty much she is a sub DPS that does insanely well. She does good damage by herself. She gives a permanent debuff, so she acts like a debuffer and a freaking DPSer herself, which is insanely good to allow you to make up for some of the points that Makoto Yuki does not make up for. Now her 5-star weapon is a critical rate weapon that gives you a lot of attack as well as crit damage. It gives you like 18.1% crit damage after your 30 uses, and then an extra 14.7. This is definitely something I would say is worth going for. If you don't go for it, it's kind of a loss on crit damage, but I mean, like, she is a sub DPS at the end of the day, so you technically don't need it. So it's kind of up to you. I personally say I think the 5-star weapon is definitely worth it, and I am definitely summoning for this character. Now moving on to our next one here, we have Fuuka. Now Fuuka for me on what's it called, my on my global, I think I might just end up skipping, and that's mainly because she's not used with my C's units that I use currently. I don't really see a use in getting her right now. I might get her at the anniversary timing where Closer comes out, or Closer Radiance comes out. That makes more sense, because then I could use Koromaru, I could use her, I'm able to do all that good stuff, but I don't really see a need of going for the character like that personally. Now, I think that she is a fantastic character. Only problem with her is you do have to go for dupes on her. A2 is the most viable one, or the most crazy version of low investment, but A1 she can start working naturally. This character takes a lot of hands-on usage, and if you can't really use that, or you can't do that all the time, well then she's not going to be the character for you. Now this character, I wouldn't say her headphones are a must-have. They do have critical damage, they have the attack, they help out with critical damage overall whenever you change characters, and this does stack, but I wouldn't say the headphones are a must-have. Yes, sure, it is great because then she can share it with her allies, and she does give the allies automatically a 15% crit damage boost when she does her Oracle shift, but at the same time, she herself isn't the one dealing damage. She's just going to be giving half of that crit damage over to the allies themselves as the Navi. I personally just don't feel like going for it. I think that they're not needed, of course, but granted, it is a Navi, so some people may say opposite of that. Are they incredibly good weapons? Heck yes. You're crazy not to go for them if you're playing competitively. But if you're a person who's just trying to collect certain things, get the characters you like, but not be ultra competitive, then I mean, I think you're fine without getting the 5-star weapon. You can still just stick with the 4-star weapon, but I'm probably just going to end up skipping her for now until we get a rerun.
Alright, so I had to pick this up the next day, mainly because, yeah, I didn't expect to be out with my family that much, but yeah, we were out all day. So this is the next day. We're going to pick up exactly after Fuuka, and the next two is going to be Luce as well as Soy Pioneer. Now, both of these characters themselves, for me, are insanely busted. We have, of course, the main AoE character that I was waiting for, and this is why I skipped all the other AoE characters before then, and that's because this character himself is insanely strong. He can cover a lot of things that honestly you wouldn't normally be able to do. His single target damage, which he's an AoE character, keep that in mind, his single target damage is insanely high, with at least his skill 3, his like special move that he's gonna end up doing that as well. And then with everything he has in his true arsenal, if you can get even dupes on him, he becomes an actual threat. Now I'm planning to save until he comes out pretty much. So on global, when Makoto Yuki drops, right? Once that goes bye-bye, I'm not planning to summon until at least maybe Summer Marian, maybe Mitsuru a little bit. I know for a fact Summer Marian's getting something, but Mitsuru is on the iffy side for me, right? But I did say I'll probably get her at least once. Well, this character here does such a huge move that it honestly makes you want to keep just saving until he comes down. And the more his HP is lowered, the more damage he can deal. So this is one of the few characters that at A0, he's perfectly fine. I would normally just stop at A0, but I'm probably going to try and get him to at least like A2 minimum. And at max, if I have a lot of gems like that, I'll go for the A6, because alongside of him, you should be able to, of course, get Soy Pioneer. Now, Soy Pioneer is literally his just teammate to go, right? They came out in the same patch and they're in the same story, all this stuff, and they work exactly together. They're meant to be in the same party at all times here, because then at least Luce has a person to sap HP off of, which then he can build up his stacks and deal more and more damage. Well, Soy Pioneer here, he's not really bound to one team. He actually is able to go into any team he really feels like it, as long as his uses of HP is needed here, which is like, of course, his defense capabilities, his HP capabilities. He, as long as he needs or is needed in some way or fashion, this character will always be here. Plus, of course, he can knock down points, which is always very helpful for any team. And I do think that that is a huge deal to have on your account. So since I'm pulling on Luce, I at least will be able to get one copy and one weapon for free on my man Soy. So
that's going to be interesting. We're going to see exactly how that does go here, and just go around on that aspect here itself. So I do think these two are must summons for me. You don't have to summon them, of course, yourself here, but this is definitely my pool plan to get both of them. Now, going into the next character that we need to go ahead and get a look at is going to be Junpei. Now, this is the main difference of why I might have to not go for A6 or anything like that on Luce, is because Junpei is right after. If you want Makoto Yuki's premium team, Junpei is in that set premium team. I do want to go ahead and use that. Granted, I could just take the easy way out and just skip Junpei because I'm not doing any SOS related content. But then that relies on me having to use someone else in said team, meaning I'm missing a seeds unit that I can't use. Now, Junpei for me is probably going to be on the pulling list, meaning I'm gonna have to draw back maybe at A2 for Luce, which is perfectly fine and all. It's just like Junpei himself is going to be hard for me to at least skip, so I am planning on getting at least one copy of him because he does deal a lot of stuff for the fire-based teams. The only problem is he only works in fire-based teams. So he himself is insanely good. It's just he's bound to fire, which really does suck for the guy, but at the same time, he's still stupid good. He has, of course, the defending down. His counters actually deal some decent damage. He's able to, of course, just really just be there, right? He just makes it so your whole team has a very high fire buffs and he just won't die. So I do like that. I do like having the sustainability. So I'm probably going to be summoning for this man Junpei. Now for the next few here, you're gonna hear a bunch of skips coming from me here, and that is mainly because I don't really have to explain a lot of these. I do feel like I don't need a single target DPS for quite some time. So this goes for Pinky. Single target DPS, as awesome as she is, as cool as she is, I'm going to be skipping her because, yeah, she's a single target side DPS and one of the only single target side DPSs, but I'm not going to be summoning till at least Anniversary, which is Close of Radiance, where I'm planning to probably go for A2. Nothing wrong with this character. She's insanely good. I just don't think I'm summoning for her. Same thing goes with at least Koromaru. Koromaru himself is in a very interesting spot, and I hate to put it this way. I want to summon for him, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I do want to summon for him. The only thing that's probably going to put me to go for this character here specifically is Close of Radiance, because he is like a main use inside of her team, as long as Fuuka can swap him in. So I mean, like, right now I'm at a middle ground where this is the only character I think in this entire video that I'll say I'm 50-50 on pulling. I'm unsure if my pull plan is going to pull him or not. At A0R0, honestly, he's perfectly fine. He's great. I do love this little guy. I just am unsure if I'm gonna pull for the doggo just yet. I might end up doing it anyways because, hey, the dog is the dog, so I mean, like, why not pull for him? But I have to see what my options are and see if it's gonna really be worth getting on my free-to-play account at that point in time. And then lastly, because we're not going to be talking about Aegis in this one, seeing how this is going to go just yet, lastly, we are going to be talking about Close of Radiance. Close of Radiance is one of the few characters that I will be pulling for. She's an Anniversary unit and she's freaking fine as heck. Anyone who loves Chie or knows Chie here, I can say that Closer is like a Chie 2.0 that I freaking love, who doesn't ask you for money 24/7, and I do love her. She's freaking awesome. She's just a really cool character, and then she relies on highlights. Since I'm already going to be going for Cord, as well as if I do go for Koromaru and maybe even Fuuka, which at the moment I'm skipping Fuuka. I might get her on the rerun or something. What's it called? And maybe even Fuuka, it may give me a reason to hardcore go for this character. Now, this character can be used as a single targeter and an AoE damager at the same time because she's able to target multiple enemies. So I do think this will be a good investment for me, and she honestly doesn't need to have her dupes to do so. So I mean, like, this could be a really good investment. I'm gonna probably check it out and see if I really want to go crazy for this character, but she dang sure is getting a must pull because, listen, ever since the game came out, I was calling her GA 2.0 and I love her. So this is definitely a character that not only is a meta pool, but also is a personal preference pool where I say waifu over meta. So either way, yoink, I'm taking that one. But that is what I wanted to go over for the video here. If you guys did enjoy it, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and
I might get out 3 videos because I accidentally just could not upload yesterday. I was way too dang tired. As you can hear, I still have a little bit of my morning voice, but not really. It's starting to clear up a little bit, but it's early morning. I'm trying to get these videos out for you guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.